At some point in your career, you will face a decision that looks simple on the surface, but has long-term consequences. Should you stay in your current role, or should you switch? And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't get this wrong because they lack ambition. They get it wrong because they misread their situation. They think they are growing when they are actually plateauing. Or they switch, thinking it's progress, when it's just a reset. So in this video, we're not going to give you generic advice. We're going to build a clear thinking framework so you can decide with confidence. Are you in a phase where staying compounds your career? Or are you in a phase where switching is the only way forward? The biggest mistake people make is assuming careers grow linearly. They think more years equals more growth. But that's not how it works. Careers grow in bursts of acceleration, followed by periods of plateau. Think of your career like an S-curve. At the start of any role, you struggle, you learn, you adapt. Then suddenly, things click. Your output improves, your confidence increases, your visibility grows. This is the acceleration phase. But after a point, something subtle happens. The problems stop being new. The environment becomes predictable. Your thinking stops stretching. This is where most people get trapped. Because externally, everything looks fine. But internally, growth has slowed down. And if you don't recognize this shift, you can spend years in a plateau that feels like progress. At any point in time, you are in one of three states. State 1, acceleration. You are learning rapidly. Your decisions are improving. You are exposed to new challenges. This is where careers are built. State 2, optimization. You are no longer learning at the same rate, but you are getting more efficient. You know the system. You can deliver consistently. This phase is useful, but temporary. State 3, stagnation. You are repeating the same patterns. Your growth has slowed significantly. Your role is no longer stretching your thinking. This is the danger zone. The problem is, most people cannot distinguish between optimization and stagnation because both feel comfortable, but only one is productive. Let's go deeper into when staying is the right decision, not emotionally, but strategically. 1. You are still in the acceleration phase. This is non-negotiable. If you are still learning things that feel difficult, if you are still making mistakes and improving, leaving at this stage is one of the biggest career mistakes because you are walking away from compounding. Example, you just moved into a leadership role. You're struggling with stakeholder management. You're unsure how to influence without authority. This discomfort is not a signal to leave. It's a signal that you are exactly where you need to be. 2. Your environment is stretching you beyond your comfort zone. Growth comes from forced expansion. If your role demands better thinking, better communication, better decision-making, you are in the right place, even if it feels uncomfortable. 3. You have access to high-quality people and learning loops. This is underrated. Ask yourself, are you surrounded by people who are better than you? Do you get feedback that actually improves your thinking? Because careers are shaped by environments, not just roles. 4. You are building leverage, not just experience. There's a difference between doing more work and becoming more valuable. Leverage comes from owning outcomes, driving decisions, influencing direction. If your current role is increasing your leverage, stay. 5. You are early in your learning cycle. Every role has a life cycle. If you've been in a role for less than 18 to 24 months, in most cases, you haven't extracted full value yet. Switching too early creates a pattern of shallow experience. Key insight: staying is not about patience. It's about extracting full value from a growth curve. Now let's go deeper into when switching becomes necessary. 1. You have entered true stagnation. Not boredom, not fatigue, but actual stagnation. You are no longer learning new skills, facing new problems, expanding your thinking. At this point, staying has diminishing returns. 2. Your environment cannot support your next level. Sometimes the issue is not your capability, it's the system. Maybe the organization is too hierarchical, opportunities are limited, decision-making is centralized. If your next level doesn't exist in your current environment, you cannot grow into it. 3. Your role has become execution-heavy with no strategic exposure. Early in your career, execution is valuable. But over time, growth comes from thinking, deciding, influencing. If you are stuck only executing, your trajectory will flatten. 4. Your growth is dependent on external validation that never comes. If promotions, opportunities, or recognition are consistently delayed, not once, but repeatedly, you need to question the system, because growth should not depend on luck. 5. You are staying because of sunk cost. This is one of the biggest traps. I've already spent 3 years here. I've invested so much. But past investment is irrelevant. The only question that matters is this place still compounding my future? 6. You feel safe, but not stretched. Safety is not a career strategy. Growth requires tension. If your role feels too comfortable for too long, you are likely under-challenged. Key insight: switching is not about chasing better conditions. It's about re-entering a learning curve, even when switching is the right move. How you switch matters. 1. Switch for learning, not just salary. A 30% hike that slows your growth is more expensive than it looks. 2. Evaluate the next role for trajectory, not title. Ask, will this role expose me to better problems, better people, better decisions? 3. Avoid lateral comfort moves. Sometimes the new role feels better, but offers the same level of challenge. That's not growth. That's repositioning. 4. Look for asymmetry. The best moves are where downside is limited, upside is exponential. These are usually roles with high ownership, unclear structure, but strong potential. Your career is not defined by how often you switch or how long you stay. It is defined by how well you understand when growth is happening and when it has stopped, because both phases can look similar from the outside, but they lead to very different outcomes. So don't optimize for comfort, and don't optimize for movement. Optimize for compounding growth. And ask yourself, am I still on a curve that's taking me somewhere better? Or am I just moving without direction? Because in the long run, The right decision is not the one that feels safe. It's the one that keeps you growing.